been a long week, but let's get it. Start this video. Let's go. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and women, children, all ages. Hey, what's going on? It's Joe Reaper once more. I'm just thinking of something. I don't know, I was just thinking of doing this video, so I wanted to talk about project cars. Or let's say just project in general, project cars, project bikes, whatever it may be. So before I started doing motorcycles and all whatnot and getting into the motorcycle scene, I was big fanatic in cars, and I'm always a big fanatic of cars, what it may be. Whether it be your old muscle cars, your import tuners, your Europeans, or whatever fancy Italian cars you want to do, Ferrari, Lamborghini, etc., etc. You know, that all depends. Everybody has a different taste, right? So, like I was talking about my project car. So I have a 2004 Mustang GT that I have like about 2 years or so, and came a long way. It's a phenomenal car. Yeah, people be like, oh my god, it's a Mustang, and everybody has a Mustang, and especially it just runs over people, and it does all the crowd things, and you know, Ford is a bad reputation and all that. Chevy. But that's not the case, because I used to have a Chevy. I actually used to have a Camaro as well. Granted, it was not the V8, but it was a V6, but it was still nice. It's Chevy. Don't get me wrong, I like Chevy, especially them LS engines. They're pretty badass. But back on topic. So my 2004 Mustang GT, made from Ford, of course. So it's not the quickest ones per se. During that era when they just introduced the 2-valve V8, the modular V8, 2 valves per cylinder, as I talked about before, is one intake and one exhaust, and that's it. So it was a single overhead cam, so SOHC, or SOH, you know, short, how people would say it. But it was a very interesting car. It's a very interesting car, and I like it. And what's crazy about the 2004 is also that it has an iron block. So the block is indestructible. It could go up to like, rated probably like 1,000 horses to the, it's to the crank that is rated to, that it will withstand the abuse and whatnot. But granted, the internals are pretty fragile. Anything over 450 boosted, that thing going bye-bye. So you should expect a rod going through your block, but your block will fucking take the hit, and then you could just pretty much revamp your block, and you're good to go. Put some new rotating assemblies and whatnot, and you're back on the road like in no time. So the 2-valve V8 only pushing 260 horses to the crank, and then 280 torque to the crank. This was back in the early 2000s, 2004. It wasn't impressive, of course. You got your Camaro, a Z28, the SS shit. You had your Pontiac WS2, the Trans Am, pushing ridiculous numbers. And they said 305 to the crank, but it was a very underrated LS1, and of course LS1 is king. You know, freaking people get the freaking rock solid because Chevy. Don't get me wrong, engine's a badass, but I mean, they all have their mishaps like any other car. So I'm really unbiased with that, because I had so many cars, it's not even funny. But anyways, so I started out with this project, and it went from, you know, your basic headers, exhaust, drop it with some springs, you know, just a little cosmetic things here and there, and it was nice. It was running on stock Cobra tires, Cobra rims, sorry, from the 2004 Terminator. Freaking badass, phenomenal fucking car. That car was underrated as fuck too. Still very collectible car if you can find it. and it's very hard to find that it's unmodified. The motherfuckers can push like 600 fucking to the wheels. No problem with the change of pulley, a good tune, some headed exhaust, and you're already golden pushing 500-600s. Granted, yeah, that's exaggeration, but that's around that ballpark numbers. So I started looking into like getting more out of it. So I was looking online, I was doing a lot of research and all whatnot, and I found out on All3 Performance, and it had very mixed reviews. And it's a turbo system that it has. It's a pretty cheap, reliable turbo system. It's not your best, you know. It's not like no Hellion turbo kit or other competitors that, you know, have better quality. But nonetheless, it does the job. So I boosted that in about December of 2000, the end of 2015, and the car has done me some justice, and that car is phenomenal. Like, the things I have done to the car, I have changed the A-arms, I changed the K-member to a tubular K-member, tubular A-arms, new caster camber plates, springs, the shocks, the struts. I put some lower control arms to be more stable. I was gonna get some upper control arms, but again, I don't want that car to be too stiff, especially because I want to be in the twisties and all whatnot, and also to the straight line. But that'll be soon. Just I'm wondering what to get. I'm still looking around for a good upper control arms. I still haven't found that yet. But anyways, so also changed the gearing, because the gearing was at 323s. It was sluggish as fuck. Sluggish as fuck. So it's so sluggish that, especially the Tremec 3650, that it comes married to the engine, and this 5-speed is like pretty much 5th gear is like there. But then again, it was made to have highway miles. It was not meant as a quick car. It was meant to be like a reliable, you know, not a gas eater. It was actually, it gets decent gas, believe it or not, going on highway. But to each his own. So I was like looking into it, and I was like, should I go 413s or 375s? Or 373, sorry. 413s or 373s. So I decided to go with 373s. A lot better gear ratio, especially for what I wanted to do. And granted, yeah, a lot of people say just stay with the 323s, especially when you're doing on a boosted car, because you want to get more time to spool up the turbo to build up that boost. But the way I had it, the way I have set up right now on my 67 ball bearing, it spools up rather quick, like about 3.5. Is when I started hitting into boost, and it peaks out at 7 psi, which is, granted, it's still a safe boost, so it doesn't tear up my whole inside and my whole engine, and I'm not freaking having a whole fucking fire shit show in that motherfucker. So it's still reliable. It's reliable, power, and torque. Right now, the numbers is sitting right now is at 393. 393 horses to the wheels, and then 383 torque to the wheels. Not bad, especially since I cut a lot of weight in that car, and from the front side as well, because that caught at least like 200 pounds from going from the regular K-member to tubular K-member and A-arms. Pristine. Plus, with the caster camber plates, it gave me that better angle, so my car doesn't look all pigeon-toed or look like it's squatted like a duck, look all retarded. So, nah, I'm no stance person. That's not me. I don't do the stance whatnot shit. That's other people's taste, not mine. So then I decided to buy some Corbos. Some Corbo seats. They're amazing feeling seats. So I have a pair of Corbo seats as well, and I was planning to get rid of my back seats, but I didn't know how far I'm gonna get into this project. But nonetheless, it's a good outcome. I'll get some videos soon whenever I'm back in the States. I'll get some videos, give it like a whole overview on my car, and hopefully you enjoy that. So, but let's go back to project cars. So project cars, it's just it's something that gets your interest. It's something that you build, and you invest your time, you invest, of course, money into it, and you put a lot of effort and you put a lot of thought. And everybody has different ideas, you know, for similar cars. Like probably somebody has the same car as me and it has like different taste to it, or has a different approach to it than what I have. So you just make it your own, and you choose that car that will fit you. It pretty much, it gives you, personify that car, and it's a reflection of you. So don't let anybody say, oh, your car is dumb, or your project car is dumb, or your project bike is dumb, is stupid. No, because it's something that you like, it is in your taste, and you put the time and effort to do it. You're not supposed to impress anybody. You're impressing yourself. You're like, man, this right here, this is my boo, this is my babe, this is my shit right here, and I like it. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. So make that your own, and don't let anybody else tell you differently, because if you do, then you'll be disappointed. You sell it for a lot less than you can, because once you start upgrading stuff, then you know there's also that reliability issues, because with project cars or project bikes, it's project, so it's never finished thing. It's a never finished product. It's always something happening, something you have to fix here, it's fixed there. It's like that. That's why the manufacturers did what they did, for it to be reliable on a daily use. Once you get out of that little let's say comfort zone of the car, then things here and there will start happening, whether it be like gaskets, for example, like an exhaust gasket on mine, because it doesn't sit right on the manifold, so now I'm having like a small exhaust leak, which already got fixed. So now I had to go buy new header gaskets for them in order to seal that exhaust leak, you know, stuff like that. Or like you find unwanted rust that you gotta get rid of, like especially keen areas that will be detrimental to the integrity of your car or your bike. You don't want that, especially on the swing arm on your bike too. You don't want your swing arm to just go break in two when you're riding. That's just fucking, no, you don't want that shit. Definitely don't. Fuck that. So don't let anybody tell you different. Make that your own, because it's your project. Show the world and start them out. It's like, hey, I want to be different, and you make it your own. And you let the haters, let them hate, because in the end, you're the one who bought that motherfucker. You're the one who riding it, not them. With that, I appreciate y'all watching. Like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Hopefully I get you better content too. Still in the works. Once I'm in the States, it should be a better flow. But hey, doing what I can, right? So, with that, I bid you adieu. Yeah. You could watch videos like that one or that one. You know, you don't have to look at me the whole time. Just saying, okay. Or subscribe wherever the button may be, here or here or here or here or here, wherever.